Now, here on OS, we bring you the latest from our journalists, both here in our newsroom in central London, but also around the world. We also keep an eye on what is being talked about online, what is trending around the world. And in China, we noticed that a lot of people have been using the hashtag I am not the perfect victim. Kerry Allen, friend of the programme, I think we can call you, is our China media analyst from BBC Monitoring. What does the hashtag mean? Why are people using it?
Well, they've been using it now since April, and what it refers to is there was a long-term incident. Basically, last year, a very famous Chinese CEO called Richard Liu, or Liu Qiangdong, was arrested in the US and accused of rape, and he was held, but then released and told that there weren't going to be charges against him, and the person who filed this basically decided she was going to make a civil complaint against him. She raised this with the courts, and what happened was, days after she'd filed this complaint, this video appeared online, this surveillance footage showing her with him in the hotel, just like hotel surveillance footage. Yeah. And they're just walking through the hotel, and because they both enter a hotel room, that she doesn't appear to be under distress. People are kind of asking, does this mean that he's innocent, basically? I mean, it's this footage that was leaked, it was anonymous. It's not clear who it's come from, but it went onto Chinese social media platform called Sina Weibo. And yes, it started people kind of opening a discussion about, is there a perfect victim? If you go into a hotel room, does this mean that, you're asking for rape, basically? So what's been happening is this hashtag has been raised by a lot of activists, and a lot of social media users are coming forward in China anonymously, and they're basically explaining their sexual assaults or rapes that they've encountered in the past and saying, I am also not a perfect victim.
And how is this different to or similar to hashtag #MeToo, which we saw trending quite widely around the world in the past year?
Well, what's interesting is that China did have its Me Too moment. I mean, shortly after the Harvey Weinstein incident in the US, there were lots of allegations coming out in China against very influential figures. I mean, this guy as well, Richard Liu, he's a very famous entrepreneur. He's the head of a website called JD.com, which is very similar to eBay. It sells electronics. It's one of the leading e-commerce websites in China. But the hashtag #MeToo became censored on social media platforms. In fact, it was actually in 2018 one of the most censored search terms on platforms like WeChat, which is a mobile messenger like WhatsApp.
Why that?
Because a lot of these kind of people who were being basically allegations were being made against were very influential, and also there were links to very influential universities, for example. I mean, one big university, there were accusations that professors at this university had raped students, for example, and it was a clampdown because there were so many of these allegations coming forward that the state had to control this. So Me Too was banned not only in English but in Chinese, and people started using characters. I mean, one of the interesting ones, Me Too in Chinese is like rice rabbit. Me is rice, tu is tuzi, rabbit. So people were literally calling it the rice rabbit movement, and using this hashtag before that got taken down too.
And so this hashtag, I am not the perfect victim, which is doing the rounds at the moment, that is being censored or isn't?
Currently, it's not being censored. It's been people have been quietly using it, very. It's been gaining a lot of momentum since April, but yesterday the New York Times wrote an article saying that this is happening in China. I mean, tens of thousands of people have used this hashtag, and it's very possible that because this publishes in English as well as Chinese, I mean, Chinese government officials do keep across international media anything sensitive like this, it may go down. It may be the latest term to be censored.
Thank you very much for that. Kerry Allen from BBC Monitoring there. Thank you.